No, I don't want that. I feel like I wasn't mentally engaged in the show.
Oh, you're not ready.
No, I didn't think this was part of it.
It is. It's always part of it. I never know. I just
thought
take
this
the
was just
recording
for
back.
us. This is just for us.
All right, ready? Officially, we will start now. So, I want to talk about my preparations and my strategy for my stream today, and I would like to bounce that off of you guys, if that's okay.
That's okay. I'll allow it.
I would enjoy that conversation, Mike.
Okay, great. So I do have. I'm excited because I'm experimenting with different inserts that I haven't sold before. These are all Jordan inserts. So the Decade of Dominance series, I got that series. I'm hopeful that I can get somebody that really wants to add to that collection. The card you had just showed before we started recording, Matt, the predictors, I have a few of those.
What are you starting that at?
Okay, so price strategy. So I'm going to do 4 price categories. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want the ultra premiums, and I define those as kind of like cool inserts, so like cool shiny Michael Jordan inserts of varying values. I don't want to do all of those at 23. That's a good one. But people who are listening can't see that. So
yeah,
like what is that insert? Since you showed it to me and I responded to it.
It's the UD3 upper deck card. It's a die cut Jordan.
What year? 92, 93? 90.
No, come on, grow up. Like 96.
I'm so sorry.
97.
But anyways, yeah. So like, I guess what I'm doing right now is I'm going deep into eBay and Whatnot, because Whatnot occasionally you can get some decent inserts for like not overpriced prices. I'm trying to venture into more expensive Jordans and see if I can flip those. So I'm really trying to be specific with my pricing strategy because I need to know if I can actually do this and make it profitable. So my prices are, I'm going to do base Jordans at $3 starts. And that's what I did for the last couple shows. That seemed to work fine. The one caveat I do want to add is when I show that base Jordan, if I've gotten like a couple no buys in a row, so if I put up a couple cards and people aren't buying them, and so I feel like momentum is slowing down, or if I put a Jordan that I don't think is a great Jordan, it's a Jordan that everybody has, I have about 50 penny sleeve Jordans that I have within reach, and I just grab one of those and just combine it. So some of my Jordans that I start at $3, I'll sell in like a lot of 2, sometimes 3, depending on what Jordans they are. But those all start at $3. Then when I have, so those are all base Jordans. Then for $5 starts, they're also base Jordans, but they're just cooler. You don't see them as often. You know, they're not the 91, 92 upper decks that everybody has. So I start those at $5, which I did that last show, and that seemed great. I mean, that I would say was probably like the sweet spot as far as I would end up getting pretty high bids starting at $5, sometimes higher than when I started at 23. So like that's something worth noting. What I'm doing differently now is I'm now going to have, I essentially have 2 insert categories. So I do one insert category of a $10 start, and that I probably got about 30 cards that I'm starting at 10. And then I've got 7 cards that are high level inserts that I'm starting at 23. So I have 4 price categories, 3, 5, 10, 23. This is the first time where I've done it this way. So I haven't done I don't think I've done the $10 start before. At least I don't know what the results were if I did it like at any sort of significant volume. So what do you think? What are your thoughts, Matt, in terms, because I know you spend a lot of time thinking about what the right kind of starting bid price should be. How do you feel about
Spend
4
way
categories?
too much time thinking about that. Way too much time being thought.
I really do.
The subject
and
matter is.
I keep
It
going
is
back and
important,
forth.
though. I do think it matters.
I sometimes think too many categories is signaling your lower categories to stop bidding. Like I don't know. I don't think I have it down. I feel stuck on this because the psychology of bidding, we've talked about this in our first couple episodes.
Every episode. Every episode
we come back to this because like what the
Every
price is
episode.
at and what we see other people's streams do, how they just bid up. So this feels like a lot. Like I feel like your $10 Jordans, you're putting a cap on them now.
Yeah.
You
Why?
know, so-
Tell me why you think that's a cap, though.
because if they're not 23, like you already have a different level. Like I kind of feel like I understand the 3 prices, like having a $3, like, okay, this is our low level, but I got to start it at a point where my time is rewarded. Then we have a mid tier where it's like, I can't get screwed on these. These need to get 5 at least or more. And then I get like saying like, these are the really good ones. So I'm just letting you know the 3 category of cards. By adding a 4th, I feel like you're saying, well, that 3rd tier, they're really only worth $10. And number one, are they all actually worth $10? So then you might kind of point out that you're overpricing potentially for a few. And the other side is they're not the super premiums or whatever. So then stop bidding. I don't know. I think I'm going to do with my categories today is 3 levels. And it's more on the type of card. Like my bottom Kobe's are starting at 5. Just they all are. So there should be no Kobe that they think is like that bad, mostly because the cost to acquire Kobe is so much. But and then I was going to do an upper tier, but then I wanted to do a non-Kobe and Jordan tier where it just started at $2 and just let them run. And so it's almost like I'm not telling you that these cards aren't valuable. I'm just saying that different players have different values.
Yeah, I think okay, so good points, and I think I'll still test it out today and we'll see. I want to try and get better at I'm trying to now when I write the so just so people know, when you're selling on Whatnot, it's very important that as you sell, you need to keep track of what the user bought. So a lot of times, like at least my system is, I'll take the cards that were sold and I'll create piles per buyer. And one thing I'm trying to get better at is while I'm doing that, also on a sticky note, for at least for my inserts, I'm not really going to do this for my base level Jordans, but for my inserts, so my $10 starts and my $23 starts, I want to try to get better at recording the price it's sold at and just throwing a sticky note on that so I can do my own research and see what were the results. So for my $10 starts, did I end up selling those for $30, $40, but then my 23, they didn't sell, or vice versa? So
you're
I got to
going to
get
write a
better at
note.
tracking.
You're going to write a sticky note every time someone buys, not just adding to their pile.
So yeah, because I figure it's literally I could do that. Well, no. Let me put it this way. I don't know. I want to try and do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do that when I put another card up. The only difference is right now I kind of hold them in front of the camera and I move them around. I might just throw them on a little, card display and then write the price down of the previously sold one, something like that, or at least try and keep track of a few.
Do you get a bid every time now on every card, or do you still get cards that you throw out there that nobody bids on?
I would probably guess that Matt probably gets more no bids because he experiments more with a wider range of cards. Because I'm really sticking to pretty much the same, like 95% Jordan with a couple Allen Iversons and Kobe's in there, with like maybe a few experimentals. So I think the answer to that question is if you experiment with a wider range of players, you're probably going to get more no bids because the group in front of you or the group in your room just might not be interested in that player. It doesn't mean you won't sell it at another show. It's just like those buyers, it's like they don't want the Vince Carter for their PC or, whoever.
Does it make you sad when they don't bid?
No, but it surprises me sometimes. Like
I agree. Yeah.
like there'll be cards that I've sold for like $12 that all of a sudden doesn't get a bid at like $2, and you're like, what? But no, I mean, I don't. Whatever. I mean, you can tell by the numbers in your stream. Like, I'll do more weekday streams in an effort to build up the weekend ones, where I know I'm putting out. Again, I'm even starting them at $1. So there's some cards that like we're doing low end streams just to get more bookmarks. And so I'm not shocked by that, or like I'm not upset. I sometimes am surprised, but no one has to bid if they don't want it. So I got to put out a better card if they don't want it.
I remember when you guys first, well, at least Matt, when you first started and the boys were putting out cards and nobody was taking anything. And it was so much, it was so enjoyable to just listen to the, okay. And then just like the process of going, do we do the next one? Like, what is this?
We'll move on.
Yeah,
right.
move on, I guess.
Polite, but I'm pissed at you. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Because of the sheer hilarity and the awkwardness of just like, okay, I guess. And you didn't know at the time, but
I would still say at the beginning of streams, we get a bunch of no bids just because it's like people aren't warmed up. There's not a lot of people in the room yet. So at the start of streams, like if there's new streamers listening, especially when they don't build up a following and they don't build up like literal followers, they're going to have a lot of people just jumping in and looking to see what are their mailing costs, what are their base prices, are people bidding, and like people like feel you out a lot early in a show. So there's definitely going to be time if you're a new streamer that you're not going to sell a lot, and you're going to have many of those situations where people don't bid. And I would say they still occur, especially when my kids do shows because they pick out cards. I'm like, why? Nobody would want that. Why are you putting that up there? And actually now you can hear us like heckle each other. Like, you chose that card. Like, why would you put that up?
Yeah. So I wanna speak to that a little bit because you had mentioned the like kind of getting it started in the beginning, and how it can be kind of quiet and crickets for a little bit in the beginning. But before that, I do just want to go back to when we were talking about prices real quick, because you had mentioned something. Because I do agree, Matt, that like by taking, let's say, my category that is, we'll call like ultra premium, whatever that means, right? So like higher level inserts, by taking some and starting them at 10 and then starting some at 23, what does one category say about the other category? I think that's a fair point. But I wanted your thoughts on just this because I wonder if this addresses that. So for the $23 starts, I intentionally do a small amount of cards. So I usually do 6 cards because I have a display that holds 6 cards. I might do 7 or 8 depending on like how many inserts that I have that I think are worth starting at that price. But I put those in the background, so those are always visible. And I kind of wait for the room to express interest. And then, so what I'll say is, oh yeah, I can run those, but I got to start those higher. And I'll be honest, like I'll say things like, I really don't want to take too much a hit on these. So I've got to be more conservative with my start price. And so I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, in the sense of, I don't want to make it sound like it's like, obviously the people in the show know that like, well, they're in the camera view. I'm open to selling them. So I'm not like tricking anybody, but I try to almost do it more organically. If nobody says anything about those background cards, I'm probably not going to run those. I'm just going to wait for like the organic interest and then say, sure, I can run them. I want to wait till more people are in the room, or I got to start those higher price. How do you feel like that? Does that impact anything as far as the concern around the category of 10 versus 23?
So yes, I think that's better. I do, and I have to do more backwall stuff because I feel like you're right, and people ask for it, builds more demand for it. I find that like my table just isn't deep enough, so I'm going to do that with today's show because because of that reason. But that's to me to differentiate to the third level, not the fourth. But I guess I'm philosophically at a place where I wish I was just one start price for everything, like a low level entry. And I'm not there. I'm not doing that. But so my judgment is coming that I'm trying to get to that point where it's just a singular start, like $2 start, everything, boom. And then have it get to the prices that I want. I just don't trust that that's going to happen just yet. So I'm not doing that. However, the back wall concept, I do think is a good one. It allows you to put a little more of a number on it. But I just think you're like, okay, so the fourth category makes sense. The first category makes sense. Now the two in the middle are muddying in my mind. So like your 3s and your 5s, or your 5s and your 10s. It's like, what's the difference of those?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I'll report back during another recording I'll try to at least get some sense of the results by category. I'm wondering now, based on what you're saying, does my $3 category compete with my $5 category and so on, and then 10 to 23. So I'll try to keep some data because I really want to know what are the cards that yield the best return. So that's kind of my focus right now, is trying to figure out a way to better record the prices. And so I was even thinking of hiring Emmy or Marlo, for listeners, my two daughters, to do that for me. So if I were to pay them, $5 or $10, and then they would log in via my computer or whatever, like another device, and their sole job is write down the card, or just make a Post-it and put it on the card so that I can see how much I got for that card. So that's I really want to get better at tracking the profitability of cards and the start price categories and all that. So that's a focus for me moving forward. Like I said, I have a ton of inserts that I'm experimenting with, so I'm excited about that. You had mentioned before kind of the low momentum, or I guess getting over that front end of the show slow start. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, because I've definitely noticed that, but over the last couple streams that I've done, I actually verbalize, hey everybody, while the room fills up, I'm gonna get you the early access to the early bird special. And so essentially what I'm doing is saying, until I can get more buyers in this room, I'm so grateful that you're in here, kind of helping me build momentum. I'm gonna throw in bigger lots for the same $3 starting price. So I should add that I start at the lower starting price of those categories and I work my way up. I typically don't go backwards. I might go back to the $3 if things are slowing down, but not typically. So what I do is I'll say to them, normally I'm selling one of these for $3. I'm gonna sell 3 or 4 of these. And because I have one of them might be in a top loader, but the other 2 or 3 might be are just in a penny sleeve. So from a shipping standpoint, I can throw it in that category and still have it be under the shipping weight that I need it to be. And I'll do that for maybe 4 or 5 first runs. And what's interesting is I feel like the act of just getting people so I'm telling people you're getting basically $1 per Jordan, right? Which is pretty hard to do. And so that usually gets pretty good bidding going, not high level prices, but it gets people buying, which seems to kind of boost the algorithm if you see some sales quick. I think it sends a message to the algo of oh, people are buying right away. The show started 2 minutes ago.
You just call it an algo.
Algo, yeah. Because of
Algo, huh? Hey, I got a suggestion for you guys. I got a
Okay,
suggestion.
sure.
I got a suggestion in real life, someone I talked to.
Okay.
I told them what you did.
Real life.
After they finished laughing, they suggested what? No, I'm not done yet. They suggest yeah, well, they laughed at what you did, but anyway, they thought, because I said, no, they don't want to put their faces on. It's just a thing, they want to keep it, their identities private. And they said, well, what if they wore masks? And I said, no, I don't see them as wearing masks.
Not
They
doing
said,
that.
well, what if they wore a football on their head, like I was like, I don't know. I don't think anyone's doing that. But the suggestion was they thought it would be nice if you wore either a basketball or a football on your head. Not like a real one, but like a, one of those gimmicky ones that just is shaped like a football, but maybe has like you can see through it.
Tell that person thank you, but no thank you. I'd rather not.
They're probably going to listen to this. So
okay, great.
You can talk to them.
Person, thank you, but I'd rather not become if I don't want to like show my face. I don't want the alternative to be like to become a caricature where now I have to like wear a basketball on my face. Because honestly, that's one of those things where even if it was successful, I wouldn't want that to be my life. I don't want to be like, shoot. Do you know who's the comedian? Bert Kreischer. Do you know that guy? The comedian Bert Kreischer. So he made he started a joke where like halfway through a show, he'd randomly just like take his shirt off. He's like a not in great shape guy.
Now I do know who he is. Yeah.
And now he says the problem is that was like such a hit that now like I'm telling jokes that I've worked very hard on. Nobody cares about the jokes. They're just waiting for me to take my friggin' shirt off. And I feel like I have to. People who are paying money, this is for whatever reason, this is why they came here. So needless to say, even if it's a good idea, I don't want to do it. Because then if it worked out, now I'm this person that's like, sweet. Okay, love, I'm going to go downstairs and stream and then just throw like a basketball mask on my face.
So you want to be successful, but only on your own terms. Like you don't
I just don't want to have to dress up like a caricature.
But you could almost have two identities and pit them against each other. Set up a whole new channel and have, basketball head guy, and then see how that does. See if it, because I feel like people actually would talk about this. There's this guy, he's got a basketball head and he sells cards or whatever. I mean, it just might be it could be a thing.
I'm going to go the other way. I want this lifestyle. I want this real life. I don't even want to do it for the stream. I want people to expect me to be in a basketball helmet or head
all the time
on the street, and I want society to be okay with it. So
have it just be exaggeratedly big. And you just walking around with this giant.
The DJ that wore that marshmallow on his head. I want that.
Yeah. Exactly. That is exactly how I pictured it.
Done.
Hey, kind of like Daft Punk. Don't they not show their identity? Yeah.
Right. Right.
All right. Hey, now I'm doing it.
I might just go with Kiss makeup though. I just might do a Kiss thing and it just.
Oh yes.
Just waving your tongue around like.
Oh God. Yeah.
But then when I'm not on camera, just totally articulate and normal with my voice. Yeah. But just my body language is bizarre.
Yeah.
Hey, I do think there's some merit to the idea, but I would rather somebody else experiment with that. I prefer not to.
Hey, maybe that's where Joey Holes comes in. Joey,
could we do that where you're just in the background in a outfit? Like you don't have to speak, you don't have to say anything, but you're just
in a silent, creepy, masked.
And people are like, who's that? What's that behind you? And be like, don't worry about it.
Just don't pay any attention to him.
Somehow you make people that are watching the stream think you're in danger. Like there's somebody slowly creeping up behind you, and you act like you don't know. And they're in the chat saying like, oh my gosh, there's this guy behind you. He moves one step every 20 minutes, and he's got a knife. Be careful. Yeah. Anyway,
don't worry about that guy.
Hey, I just like the idea of it slowly becoming more dangerous. Like he just a knife, and then with his other hand, he holds up like a hand grenade, and then I don't know. Did somebody give me a thumbs down?
I did not. Maybe.
So my comments, if that wasn't one of you two, my comments apparently are either so boring or weird that the I just got like a double thumbs down.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know why I didn't do it. Matt, did you do anything?
I didn't do it, but
I don't even know how to do that.
Okay, I think that's code for we should probably reel this back into some sort of card-based topic because now I mentioned knife and a hand grenade.
Yeah.
So let's refocus.
I wonder if the thing. I wonder if it picked up on that. Hey, do you guys remember a couple episodes ago, you recommended what was the best pack to buy, pack of cards.
Ooh.
Do you remember that?
I remember
Vaguely.
the conversation. I don't remember what I said.
Okay. You had said, Matt, you had said something different, but Mike, you had said the 93-94 Skybox Premium.
Yeah.
I went out. I got look at, I got two. I got two of them, and I
Where
wanted
did
to
you
open
get
them up.
Yes.
I got them.
So,
Okay, let me tell you, I got them on eBay. I got them from a seller named Domer.
Oh,
And
and
I got
was
him.
a good guy.
Yeah.
I like Endomer.
So I got to praise Endomer. I got them for $13.21 for two. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
That's about right.
Here's the special gift. Endomer sent me 2 bags of tea. He sent me tea.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
want that.
So
And
he sent
Endomer,
me.
what are you doing? Don't
I-
have that tea, Joe. That's laced with something. Don't do
Yeah.
Well,
it.
there's someone sleeping on one of these. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
That's
If you
so
take
that's-
those, you'll be
that's a
dead.
roofie
He's
tea.
That
murdering
guy
you.
that Mike talked about is going to be in your house. He's
Yeah.
going to be behind
Don't
you.
do it.
And then I got this maracuja. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
any of these.
I'm
right, well,
questioning whether you
are
should
you-
open.
Are you
packs
going to
now.
rip those during the show and read
I'm
out
gonna rip
loud
them.
who you kept?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was gonna
so
do it right now.
Matt, do you remember the inserts for that one that you? Oh, for those you want to get, like the insert you're looking for, you're hunting is a center stage insert. Ideally, if you can get a center stage MJ, that's unbelievable. But there's some other, like I've seen a pretty cool looking Charles Barkley center stage. So there's some other cool ones. But I do just want to give you the heads up, and I may be wrong here, but the material of those cards. They can, because they're from 93, 94, they can stick together.
They're sticky.
Yeah.
They're sticky. However, if you put them in the freezer for 20 minutes or so and then open them, the stickiness will decrease. So I don't know if they're cold, if they've been like outside, like in the mailbox all night or something, but that will help it. Otherwise, you can just hope for the best. But if you get a center stage MJ and you have to like peel something off of it, you're going to ruin the quality, and I'll be very disappointed, and I won't.
Well, I'm just going to open them now. And I mean, I was going to actually hopefully get a card you guys loved and then throw it in the blender and watch you guys cry.
Oh,
Be like, ha, ha, ha.
Why would you?
I know it's true.
Why
No,
would
I'm
you do
kidding.
that?
I'm kidding. I would never.
I don't even see the humor in that. That's just hurtful.
Yeah. All right. So I got. So
can I
it's
actually
like,
ask questions about the freezer and the type of
Yeah,
card
but
that sticks together?
Yeah, but hold on. Joe? Did you open it? Why don't we let him go through the names? Yeah. Go through who you pulled, and then Matt, we can talk about that.
Okay.
right off the top, Bryant Smith. No, Bryant Stith.
Yep. Even worse.
He looks. Oh crap! You're right. Oh,
They're sticky.
this stick. Oh, Robert Parrish.
Okay.
Oh, one of the
That's cool.
holy trinity right there.
That's probably towards the tail end of his career, right? 93, 94. How long
he
did
played
play?
till he was like 91, so I
That's
feel like
true.
he played
for
forever.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
He kind of looks the same still now, though. I feel like he could just get back out there and she's still got
he
it.
looks skinny. He looks old and skinny.
He always looks old. Like even when he was young, he looked like he was 91.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
Ricky
Joe.
Ricky Pierce. I know. I'm trying to de-stick them. I'm trying to be delicate. I don't know how you did this. Who else is this?
The last 3 packs that I sold of the 93, 94 premium Skybox, I actually told people I wasn't going to rip them. I would only ship them because I felt like, well, if I pull a good card for them and it peels and sticks, they're going to be like pissed at me.
Yeah. Charles Smith.
Okay.
Charles Smith. Yep.
Please tell me if you get anything that says center stage. It'll be unbelievable.
Malik Sealy.
Malik.
Malik.
Oh, I didn't know that was a long.
Did he play for the Pacers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I just got 4 cards now because.
I told you. Should have stuck them in the freezer.
I should have stuck them in the freezer.
Or the oven.
The oven. What is this? Sean Kemp,
Ooh.
NBA on NBC.
Watch out. You might get pregos. Just hold that
What
card.
what a weird comment
What?
because he's got a ton of kids. That's like
Oh.
that joke is actually amazing.
Terrible.
It is such a
I-
niche joke.
Holding his
Like,
card.
you have to
You
be
might
a
get pregnant.
90s NBA fan. You have to know about Sean Kemp's fatherly experience. Yeah. All right, keep going. Who else you
It's
got?
dated too. I feel like his kids are older now and successful.
I got Kevin Willis. I got a checklist.
Yep.
And I got some cards that are stuck together. Oh, come on.
Why don't you take some time to pull those together?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Matt, what were you going to ask?
So I guess my first question about the freezer is there too long that it can stay in the freezer? Because I accidentally put a pack in and forgot about it. And all of a sudden it was like frozen. I had to like wait till it thawed, and then I didn't really get any benefit of it. So
Were they
I guess
wet?
I'm answering myself that it probably is a too long. But if you experienced that, that's first.
No, because I would put them in and actually just set a timer and run up. So I assume putting them in for too long. I just don't know what the too long is, but I have to assume there is a too long.
So overnight being too long, like forgetting they're in there.
I probably wouldn't leave them in all night, but are they okay? Did you rip it and
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
are they
it
good?
was still kind of sticky, so it didn't really do much.
Yeah. Then maybe it just doesn't do. Maybe the impact is just minimal either way.
All right. So my
Yeah,
second
I'm
question
seeing.
is
Go
there
ahead,
a
Matt.
way to repair the card that does stick together? Is it actually pulling the stuff off, or is it like stuff I can clean off the card?
Yeah, is it a residue? Because I have it right here. I got Chris Mullen, and I don't know if you can see it, but right next to his head, I don't think it's coming up in the camera. There's some white. It looks like
that
I don't know if
white.
that's
Oh yeah, I see it.
adhesive. Is it like an adhesive or is it just ripping off?
No, I think I don't know for sure, but I think that's actually ripping off some of the ink or whatever, whatever's printed on the card. I think the adhesive on the bottom of the card in front of it pulled some of the ink off of the Chris Mullen card. So I don't think you can clean it and fix it.
It's just straight out of the pack ruined. All right, I got Lloyd Daniels, Gerald Wilkins, and James Worthy.
All right, Worthy's a decent
Right.
card.
Worthy's cool.
It's
Yeah,
in
I
a
don't
career
know.
worthy though.
All right, no center stages.
I mean, is it going to look different? I don't see anything that says
Yeah,
center
it would
stage
say right
on
at the
this.
top. It would say center stage,
No,
and it
I
was
don't-
like a
I
So
cool
clearly,
shiny
Mike
thing.
gave you bad advice.
That
Don't
was
do
a
the
terrible
second
pack. I
because
mean-
I don't want to wait till they stick together again, and that was terrible.
No, I'll open the second pack. You guys talk.
Yeah, open it while we
Oh,
talk.
Jesus.
So,
Yeah.
Matt, I want to
Continue.
tell you. I want to tell you about the inserts that I'm experimenting with today for Jordans.
Well, good. Before we do that, could I just go back to my pricing?
Yeah.
So you even looked at some of my cards and we talked about 3 different categories. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about doing 2, where I do a $3 start and then a
Yep.
back wall $10 start. And that way, like the gap between the 2 is significant. So I don't mind if they stop on any of those cards at 10, for example. And I think the fact that they're back wall kind of suggests like, okay, I can't lose on these. So that's why they're starting higher. But I was thinking about doing that today. So the minimum was 3 and just doing single cards, not doing any like 2-card lot or, I mean, maybe I'll throw 1 or 2 up if they're not selling, but like
Sure.
for the most part, just $3 for everything. I wanted your thoughts.
Well, I think it's just good to test things out. So I think I'm curious to see how that goes. Are you doing that stream today?
Yes, and I'm not certain on the 2 versus 3 categories. So I'm not sure
Will one of your boys be with you?
Yes.
Because it would be interesting if somehow we can keep track of how those cards do price wise. I would love to know kind of like your net return like what your bids yield on average versus mine. Because I think all right, so my answer to your or like my comments to what you're saying, I think that's probably a good idea. I think there's definitely been times where I've started things at a consistent 3 and they end up doing very well. So to some extent, if you have consistent buyers that you feel like are good people that understand the value of what you're selling, then the room will give you the market value, right? Like even if you started at 3, if it's a $12 car, they'll give you around $12. So like, I do think it's good. Like I think ultimately that's where you want to go. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because I know that right now I'd say I hover in the low 30s now as far as like room participation, and that's like midday Saturday. So that's like not a high number because I should be getting more people on a Saturday.
But you don't have anybody in your room that has a football on their head. That's the problem.
That's true.
Right there.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Hey,
you would have like
invitation. If you want to stand in the background with a football on your head, come. We'll figure it out.
You know what? I think I do. I think I actually want to do this. I think this is worth.
You just like fart in the background, like you're just weird and creepy. Sorry. Okay.
I think I'll start with just standing there, and then we'll see what happens. It has to happen organically, though.
Yeah.
Hey,
so long story short, Matt, I think that's a good idea. I'd be very curious to see how that works out. But the caveat is it is a risk. If you are running cards that you got for more than $3 and you're starting them at 3 and you are just running through these categories of either 3 or 10, well, you could get one buyer that for whatever reason the other buyers aren't really competing and they just keep getting these cards for $3 plus shipping. And that's the only, if you feel like you have good participation and engagement and there's like a decent amount consistently in your room, then I don't think that's an issue. And I think 3 and 10 is a great approach. I worry sometimes that like, if sometimes it feels like you've got one person that's just like, sweet, he's selling these for $3. I know these are $7 cards and nobody's bidding right now. So I'm just going to scoop them right up. And they like it's like, how long can you just keep doing that? So that's I guess that's the my fear when I only have that one of 2 categories.
Yeah, I mean, I've been toying with that, and so I agree. I have the same fear mostly on my Kobe's because you acquire a lot of Kobe's at like $5, so the idea of losing on them sucks.
Right.
So I hear you. The other thought I was having was, since I do mostly Iverson, Kobe, and Jordan, Iverson was number 3, Kobe was number 8 and 24, but like, and then Jordan's 23, but almost 3, 8, and 23 starts, in honor of those players.
Love it.
I don't know. I mean, and then any other card I do, like a Vince Carter rookie, probably started at 3 as if he's the Iverson number, but the problem is the Jordans tend to be less valuable than the Kobe's just because there's so many more. So it's like, it actually should be the opposite, but I don't have another number for Jordan. Like I could do Kobe at 24, but because that was,
and then you can do Jordan at 45.
That's, which is crazy. But I mean, I have some today. I have some graded Jordans that are above $60 that I want to see go today. And the idea of starting them at 23 even is scary because I worry that they think that's a negotiated price and that's it. And it's not bidding, but I'm going to kind of fill out the room to see how that goes.
So for those $40 inserts or whatever those are, maybe if you want to just adjust your strategy a little bit, stick with the $3 and the $10 categories like you originally planned, but don't have the $10 ones in the background. Have the higher level inserts in the background. Wait for people to bring it up and be like, yeah, I'll run them, but I got to kind of do different starting prices for each of these cards depending on what they cost me and what they're worth. So like Don't you, because you can always, for those, I assume you don't have a ton. So for those, you can literally change, you can edit the start price for each of those if you're not doing it a ton, because that'll obviously slow things down if you're doing it, for card after card after card after card. But that, to me, that might be the third category where it's kind of like an unofficial category. And you're just saying to people, yeah, I'm happy to sell those, but I spent a lot on those, so I got to start those a little bit higher. And even saying like, what are you thinking? What's a fair start price? And doing kind of that verbal exchange for those.
Do the 3-8 and back wall, like 8 for Kobe, and then back wall for just the general bigger cards.
Yeah. Well, once you land on your prices, if you can record them and then in some way get data to some degree on how they did, I'd love to report back for another recording on how these price categories did. Because I feel like both you and I experiment, but I don't know if we actually track results as closely as we should. So, I mean, any scientist would say we're not doing that part right. So, because scientists know stuff.
My scientists around me are very, very upset with me.
I feel like we're running out of time. I feel like we probably went over.
Let me go through these cards real quick. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I got Scott Skiles.
Scotty Sky.
Yep. Calbert Cheney.
Albert Cheney. He was a pretty good
former vice president. Yep.
Nope, not him. Different guy.
That's Dick Cheney. Dennis Rodman.
Oh,
I always like a D-Rod. I always like a D-Rod. I think I might start doing a PC of Dennis Rodman.
What can you get me for that card?
Drew Bledsoe PC.
I'll give you 12 cents.
Ooh, all right. Rod Strickland.
Decent point guard out of Portland.
Former vice president. Okay.
Yep. Everyone is. Clarence Weatherspoon.
Is it Witherspoon or Weatherspoon? I always get mixed up.
Weatherspoon.
Is he on the 76ers in this card, or has he moved on at that point?
He's on the Sixers. I got another Robert Parrish. I got another Bryant Stith. I got another Kevin Willis. What is going on?
So that happens a lot. Where you'll like start to see the patterns. Like when we buy a wax box, we go pack after pack. You start to see like they have a repeated sequence. You see a lot.
Yeah, Randy Woods.
J.R. Reed. He's a famous MLB pitcher. Randy Woods. Go ahead.
J.R. Reed.
Randy Johnson.
Okay.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, let me see that. Hold that up. I love a good Scottie Pip.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to charge that guy. I smell an offensive foul right now. And then I got another NBA and NBC, but I got Hakeem Olajuwon.
Ooh,
that's cool.
And that's it. That's all I got.
I get excited when I pull Hakeem. If I get a Scottie Pippen, a Hakeem Olajuwon, Karl Malone, I get excited about. I love a Dikembe Mutombo. They're not worth anything, but they're just fun because they're like my childhood cards. They're the people I grew up watching.
Is that pack again?
That's a 93-94.
Yeah. I guess that my irrational as I get excited for Sean Kemp's.
Yeah, I love Sean Kemp. Yep.
Yeah, didn't I get that?
Nate McMillan.
I got a Sean Kemp.
Any supersonic.
Detlef Schrempf. Tony Kukoc. All these great people.
Kukoc isn't.
All right, I think we're out. I think we're out of time. So I think we got to wrap it up.
We can't just keep naming 90s.
No. I mean, we can just pick it up. Oh my God.
Purvis Ellison.
We're just gonna keep doing this. Jeff Bagley, remember him? Remember Jeff Bagley?
Chris Cocciani.
Good job on the name, though. On the last name.
Yeah. He was a little.
All right, we should stop. I don't think this podcast. I think we should end it on this note. I apologize for this podcast. I wasn't interested, so I can't even imagine anybody listening that doesn't know us. How would they be interested? This was a boring podcast. You're welcome, everybody.
Get negative listens, this one might get negative listens.
Yeah.
People are taking away listens. Yeah.
I just want to be clear. We got a thumbs down from an unknown source. So
Yeah.
like, there you go. All right.
I have a sad
okay.
face in my screen right now. Like, I don't know why. It's like a pink sad face guy. Let me see. I'm going to blow up my screen to see what it is.
What?
Yeah, like in the bottom right corner, there's like an object.
By the way, can we just not include this part right now? Can we be done?
Yeah,
End it.
be done too. All right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Matt, enjoy your breakfast.